Hello everyone and welcome back. Meet Department here. I'm so glad you could join me for another video today. So here we are standing at Torghast outside of Mort'regar. I want to show you my item levels 192. I currently have Sinful Gladiator's two-hander, level 200 and a 187 weapon. So there's my gear. We got Signet of the Tormented Kings as the legendary to activate Bladestorm, Recklessness, and all that. So here are my talents. The typical Fury Warrior talents. We're going Sudden Death though. I'm going to switch to Impending Victory for this, but other than that, it's Massacre, Cruelty, Bladestorm, and Siege Breaker, just to really make the most out of those burst windows. So yeah, we took Impending Doom so I could heal more. I already did a layer 8 for the week, but I'm going and doing it solo here. So let's queue up and accept to go into layer 8 Mort'regar solo. So, you always love checking out what the first anima powers are going to be, and these are both awesome. The duration of Recklessness and Bladestorm increased by 60%, but you can't pass up this Condemn one. Condemn's damage is increased by 100%, and after casting it 30 times, I can cast it regardless of the HP of the mob. It is going to be invaluable for bosses and trash. So I am now speeding up the video by 300%, so that means 3 times as fast as normal, because I don't want to bore you. You could pretty much get the gist of clearing stuff, and we can talk through it here along the way. So the run actually only took me about 30 minutes, so this is only about 10 minutes of actual gameplay footage going through floors 1 up until we get to 6. So actually pretty efficient. With the recent nerfs that Blizzard has done to Torghast, as well as buffs to some abilities, and the eye level of characters climbing by doing Mythic plus dungeons and raiding, Torghast is starting to get back to the roots of what it was in alpha and early beta, which was just fun to come in and smash and thrash everything and have some fun, you know, get the powers and not have to stress too much about strategizing for an hour and a half. So here's the first boss. Not too bad, just kind of go the normal rotation on it and, you know, take it out pretty easily. These powers are all kind of mediocre, but the Berserker Rage lasting 300% there is actually really good, because sometimes you could couple that with another anima power that heals you while Berserker Rage is active every 5 seconds. So the longer that is, actually the better it is for just a self-heal. I get another an anima power to improve my Rampage's damage by 20%. I think I get a few more along the way as well. Rampage becomes pretty beefy. So here I am. I'm pretty much just going pack to pack in this layer 8. I'm not going to go too crazy. So I pulled this rare elite, the Shimmer Wing here, and just go through the priority on the stairs. Nothing too crazy here. When HP gets low, just defensive and Bloodthirst to heal up. And here are the abilities. I choose to pick that one right there. Alright, so now I'm just marking the elites so I know where it is, because these elites tend to vanish and then come back. They're actually kind of annoying. I think you'll see that either here or the other pack. So it's like there's another Rampage boost, so now Rampage is up 40% damage. And yeah, Rampage gets pretty powerful. I'm going to grab this rope because I might need it, and then I realize there's actually a grapple hook, and there you go. See what I'm saying? That Skull Elite came back to life to come and haunt me some more, so pretty annoying. So this power, I just chose the Casting Door of Shadows. Really, look at that, he's back again. I tell you, they just can't get enough. It's kind of crazy. So Casting Door of Shadows, it just reduces the cooldown, and eventually, if I cast enough times, it will become an instant cast. Which pretty much means every 30 seconds I can instant cast Door of Shadows, which is good because the Soulbind adds a disorient to it. So it's really just another way to interrupt or stop spellcasting on mobs if needed. So we're already up to, what is that, 6 freed souls, and look, these guys just keep coming back from the dead. They want me. So I turn in the flute. This time I decide to go for this. I usually don't increase my maximum health by 100%, but now I'm rooted if I don't move. So it's kind of weird, and like, you really have to take something. And I just wanted to give it a try because I wasn't too worried about it. I could just strafe back and forth a lot anyways, like we typically do. But yeah, this is the second floor's boss, and you know, nothing too crazy. It's not too deadly, even on layer 8. And I decided to choose that plundered anima one, so I could see what mobs actually have anima powers on them, so I could skip if I would like. Don't really need to get the Phantasma up too high So I am breaking the jar since I'm here and since there's some guys to free. But we're just going to take the portal and look at this floor. The broker floor is pretty short. Check out this anima power and there we go. Improve the duration of recklessness. I buy an anima power gem. I'm also buying the enraged regeneration power to increase how long my defensive runs. And as you see, I just picked a talent to heal myself, what I was talking about earlier with Berserker Rage. So now that Berserker Rage lasts 24 seconds, I also heal every 3 seconds for 5% HP. So that's a lot. You could heal 8 times in that duration, so 40% HP every time I click Berserker Rage over 24 seconds is real good. The other power I took was to improve the duration of a shout by 500%, and I think it was Piercing Howl, I can't recall, but the significance of that is you could also couple that with another power, that while you have a shout on an enemy, they take a certain percentage more damage. So that's kind of what I was thinking ahead. Hopefully I get that power so that when I do my challenging shout, it'll last for like 40 seconds or so, and if I have that other power coupled with it, it'll be taking 30, 60, 90% extra damage that entire time. So you see how you can kind of pair things together and kind of think ahead just by knowing what powers are in Torghast for your class. So these, it's pretty easy. Mort'regar isn't that congested. There's a lot of free space, and there was a power to allow my Condemn to knock back an enemy for half a second every time I cast Condemn. So again, the synergy with the very first power we got. My Condemns can be cast on any creature at this point, regardless of HP, and it's going to knock them back every single time I cast it. And you see this guy keeps getting that debuff. Boom. And it's just great for interrupting them. It is the synergy between these things. You run this stuff enough, you could kind of know what you should take in case you get something else later on, or you can even buy them off of the vendor, which helps even further. So I've been running Torghast since alpha, since beta. I spent days played in Torghast. I'm pretty well attuned with the warrior powers. This one's great. Getting hit has a 10% chance to cast Ignore Pain. That's another one you could couple where there's a power. Every time you cast Ignore Pain, you have a chance to also cast Enraged Regeneration, or the other way around. So they can kind of work together. If I get hit and it casts Ignore Pain, it might also cast Enraged Regeneration. It just staggers and adds on to each other and just makes it super powerful. And I'm thinking end boss here, I want to survive, because you never know what you're going to get at the end boss and how hard it's going to be. But we're really just plowing through. This is floor 4 already. We're at the boss. The next floor is the free broker floor, and then, or no, floor 5 is not. Floor 6 is broker and boss. So this is it. Again, it's the typical mob we've seen on the other floors. This one just hits. I'm not even sure if he casts at all. He might be pure melee. So I'm just spamming him with Condemn, which is kind of interrupting him. And bam. So I gain the anger management on top of Siegebreaker now. So that's even better. Got a double talent row there. And now I can see that there's plundered treasure on this guy. You see above his head? And you may have noticed it along the way, and that's because early on I took the plundered anima power, because it is so good for this. So here I'm going to try to, there's another guy right there with one, and I pulled the elite with him too, but that's okay. Just go ahead and repeat the process of just doing the regular rotation, including whirlwinds, and bam, it's a not so good power, but hey, at least I knew where it was. I didn't have to clear the whole room. Now I'm going to try to go up here and avoid the packs, but you see how they're in combat? Something I've noticed in these Torghast runs, they got a lot of these combat fights, and it's kind of hard to sneak past them. It may seem like you sneak past them on combat, and then all of a sudden you step in the wrong spot. Not even too close to them, and they just all come at you. So that's what happened there. I got aggro. Here's a little power. I wanted to debate about saving it, then I was like, I better just take one because I'm going to get a power at the end boss anyways here. So I went ahead and chose it, and now I just got pretty much these packs all coming at me, because the way the combat, it's a little fruity, to be quite honest with you. You got to be careful with these. You got to pretty much expect to get bum rushed in these packs. But, it's the same old stuff. Interrupt the suffering, spell reflect when you can, pop defensively if you get low in bloodthirst. I have impending victory. I could hit every 30 seconds on top of just when stuff dies. So the survivability is pretty high for Fury. So here we are at the floor 5 boss again. It's empowered. Dead Soul Shade like anything else. Looks like this one's just melee again, so just going ham on it. If I get low, I'll go ahead and do my healing. So there, Pummel knocks down the mob for 4 seconds. So now I have two sort of interrupt knockdowns. One with Condemn spam, and then just interrupting stuff period with Pummel's going to push it back and actually stun it for 4 seconds. So I go ahead and pick a gem. That power was kind of not that great. And here's another one, which is kind of useless at this point, but that's alright. Rage Mode is up here. And Rage Mode is awesome. So I'm going to also get the one to increase Recklessness duration even further. And then Rage Mode is the one you want to always get if it's available, because you get a minute and a half of no rage costing abilities. So I click it, I leap to get there as quick as possible because it's ticking, and this is going to be great. I get to spam without having to generate rage. I go ahead and disorient it, interrupt, and getting set up here to start to go. So as you can see, I could just spam Rampage. I'm spamming Rampage and Condemn. So again, I have the Condemn ability. I could spam it regardless of HP, and then Rampage. They cost no rage. So it's just easy mode. And then this boss I haven't really had too often lately. So I'm a little more cautious, and I did bring this back down to real time. So this is actually 100%. This is not sped up anymore. So this is real time. And the ad's there. I'm debating if I should kill the ad, or really you should just avoid it and the orbs. So I switched to it, and then I'm like, I don't really know here. What should I do? Then I'm like, let's just go back to the boss. It's not really that bad. So yeah, this is really it. I still got 27 seconds left of free rage. So I'm kind of doing other things here too. I'm not just standing still spamming Rampage. I'm moving because I could get rooted. And that kind of adds complication to it. Make the DPS a little lower. But overall, you see this is pretty easy regardless. I just don't want to get rooted and then hit by one of those orbs. And that was really it. That was the layer 8 solo boss. I didn't get any Soul Ash because I already completed it, and I had 30 anima powers. I had some pretty good ones with Condemn and a bunch of synergies with knockbacks and stuff, but I didn't even use half of it, I feel like. So there's the Condemn one. That's just Victory Rush. I got some extra haste. Berserker Rage I never even cast, I think, for the heal. Door of Shadows I initially did. The Edge of Hatred, Rampage did 40% more damage, is sweet. We had the Recklessness increased by 120%, and Rage Regen lasted longer too, so I did pop the defensive, I think, and that helps. But then we had like knockbacks with Condemn, Piercing Howl. I think, Piercing Howl the boss, so he took increased damage, and so forth. So it all just kind of synergized and added up and worked together. Made me powerful enough to stand there and take it at 192 item level and really just dish it out. Rage Mode is really what you want to do. It is awesome. If you're a warrior and you could pick Rage Mode, you want to go for it. A minute and a half of no rage cost abilities. That is bread and butter right there. So that was it for the layer 8. I hope you enjoyed the quick playthrough. It was sped up to not bore you through the floors as we cleared, but just enough so you could see what's going on and understand. That was solo. It took about 30 minutes in all, but honestly, it wasn't really much threat at all. So it was fun. I love doing this. Torghast getting a little bit funner. I usually run with a shaman friend, and it's actually a little tougher. They scale it up a little bit more, but it's not that it's tougher. We have more toolkits available to us, so it's actually more fun. But solo, you can just thrash through it, no problem. And I believe it's going to get easier as our gear level increases as well. So that's it. Thanks for sticking with me. If you like what you saw with World of Warcraft, please go ahead and subscribe and smash that bell so you are made aware when I drop new WoW content on the Venthyr Fury Warrior. But until next time, thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.